3 small habits after meals that are silently harming the digestive system of the elderly. What if I told you that some of the smallest things you do after a meal could be silently harming your digestive system? Hello, dear friends. Welcome back to Elderly Voices. I'm Dr. Eric Bergman, and if you're over 60 or care deeply for someone who is, then this message could change how you treat your body after every meal. We often focus so much on what we eat, but what we do after eating, that's a different story. Many of us unknowingly repeat daily habits that seem harmless. Some even feel comforting, but could, over time, cause bloating, indigestion, acid reflux, and even more serious gastrointestinal issues. In this video, we're going to explore 3 small habits that may be quietly damaging the digestive system of the elderly. And more importantly, I'll share clear, simple solutions you can apply immediately to protect and restore your digestive health. These are habits I've seen time and time again in my elderly patients, habits they never thought to question until their symptoms worsened. But the good news? With the right adjustments, many of them experienced significant relief within weeks. So grab a warm drink, settle in, and let's walk through this together. Because your health deserves more than guesswork. I'm just resting for a bit. What harm could that possibly do? For many elderly people, especially those living alone or retired, the daily routine becomes a comfortable loop. After breakfast, perhaps a newspaper; after lunch, a nap; after dinner, maybe the evening news in bed. But what if I told you that this exact routine, the one that seems to bring you peace, is slowly wearing down your digestive system? Let's explore what really happens when we lie down right after eating. The science behind it. After we eat, our stomach begins breaking down food using powerful digestive acids. This process is helped enormously by gravity. When we're upright, food moves downward naturally, from the esophagus into the stomach, then into the intestines. But when we lie down, gravity is no longer assisting the movement. Instead, the acids in the stomach can easily travel backward into the esophagus, leading to acid reflux, heartburn, or a condition known as gastroesophageal reflux disease, GERD. For older adults, this problem is even more common because the esophageal sphincter, a small muscle that keeps acid in the stomach, weakens with age. Digestion slows down due to decreased enzyme production. Many take medications that further relax the digestive tract or suppress acid, but without addressing posture, these can make things worse. Teresa's story, a lesson in listening to the body. Teresa Williams was a retired school librarian, 74 years old, graceful and gentle in every way. She'd always been proud of her British-style lunches, tea, sandwiches, and a short nap afterward. But over time, Teresa began experiencing a strange tickling cough at night. She blamed the weather, then allergies, then old age. Eventually, she came to me. After a few simple questions about her routine, I suggested one change: sit upright for 30 to 45 minutes after each meal. Just that. 3 weeks later, the cough was gone. No pills. No diagnosis. Just posture. Signs this habit may be harming you. Burning sensation in the chest, heartburn, bitter taste in the mouth, frequent coughing, especially at night, feeling full for too long after eating, bloating or gas. What to do instead? Instead of collapsing onto the couch or bed, white heavy checkmark: sit upright in a comfortable chair after meals, preferably with your back straight and supported. White heavy checkmark: engage in light activities such as reading a book upright, talking with a friend, knitting or doing a puzzle. White heavy checkmark: take a light walk, just 5 to 10 minutes around the home or garden. White heavy checkmark: use this time to listen to soft music, reflect, or practice gratitude. Right arrow benefits: reduces the risk of acid reflux, helps food move efficiently through the digestive system, promotes calm and awareness after meals. Cross mark habit number 2, drinking too much water immediately after eating. Water is life, right? So why does it feel like I'm drowning after lunch? Hydration is essential, especially for older adults. As we age, our thirst response decreases, which means we often drink less than we should. But what many people don't realize is this: when you drink matters just as much as how much. Understanding the balance. Imagine your stomach as a cooking pot. It's filled with food and stomach acid that's supposed to cook that food into a digestible form. Now, imagine pouring in 2 large glasses of cold water into that pot. What happens? You dilute the acid, slow down digestion, and increase pressure in the stomach. In younger people, the body often compensates. But in the elderly, it can lead to indigestion, gas and bloating, delayed stomach emptying, malabsorption of nutrients. John's story, the waterfall that drowned digestion. John Baker, 81, was a former postman with a strict routine: eat, drink water, nap. He came to me complaining of constant bloating. He tried probiotics, antacids, and even skipped meals. Nothing worked. When I asked how much water he drank after meals, his response: about 2 big glasses, every time. Gotta wash it all down, doc. That was it. We adjusted his hydration habits. Instead of drinking right after meals, I encouraged him to sip during meals and hydrate between meals. Within 10 days, the bloating was gone. Signs you may be drinking too much post-meal. Feeling overly full after eating. Frequent burping or hiccups. Sluggishness or heavy stomach. Low appetite before the next meal. What to do instead? White heavy checkmark: hydrate throughout the day, not all at once. White heavy checkmark: during meals, sip water slowly, don't gulp. White heavy checkmark: wait 30 to 60 minutes after a meal before drinking large amounts of fluid. White heavy checkmark: choose warm water or herbal teas instead of cold drinks, which can further slow digestion. Right arrow benefits: enhances enzyme effectiveness, improves nutrient absorption, prevents post-meal bloating and discomfort, helps regulate blood sugar naturally. Crossmark habit number 3, eating fruits right after meals. A fruit salad is my dessert. It's natural, it's healthy. There's a lot of truth in that. Fruits are full of fiber, antioxidants, and natural sugars. But like every tool, when and how you use it matters. The digestive timing problem. Fruits digest faster than most other food groups. When eaten alone, they pass through the stomach quickly and provide a burst of natural energy. But when consumed after a heavy meal of proteins, starches, and fats, fruits are forced to sit and wait their turn. This delay causes fruits to ferment, literally. That fermentation can result in bloating, abdominal cramping, discomfort. It's not because the fruit is bad, it's the timing that's problematic. Helen's story, a sweet habit gone sour. Helen McCarthy, 69, believed passionately in papaya after dinner. It helps clean the stomach, she told me, but every evening brought with it gas and indigestion. We experimented with a small change. She shifted her fruit to 11 a.m. between breakfast and lunch. The result? Her evening stomachaches disappeared. Sometimes the simplest shifts create the biggest changes. Signs you may be misusing fruits: post-meal gas or bloating, mid-afternoon fatigue, feeling too full after even small meals, irregular bowel movements. What to do instead? White heavy checkmark: eat fruits on an empty stomach, ideally. Mid-morning, 9 to 11 a.m. Afternoon, 2 to 4 p.m. White heavy checkmark: combine fruits with healthy fats or light proteins for longer-lasting energy, e.g., apple plus almond butter, banana plus yogurt. White heavy checkmark: avoid mixing fruits with heavy meals, especially at dinner. White heavy checkmark: if you crave something sweet after eating, choose a piece of dark chocolate, a teaspoon of honey, a sip of warm cinnamon tea. Right arrow benefits: smoother digestion, better energy balance, less bloating, more efficient nutrient absorption from both the fruit and the meal. Heavy plus sign bonus habit: skipping movement after eating. I'm too full to move. Let me just sit here. While this may seem harmless or even necessary, it's one of the most overlooked mistakes among the elderly. Gentle movement after eating supports digestion, regulates blood sugar, and helps prevent weight gain. Just 10 to 15 minutes of light walking has been shown to reduce post-meal glucose spikes by up to 30% in seniors. Heavy plus sign bonus habit: taking medications right after meals. Some medications are best taken with food. Others, especially iron, calcium, thyroid meds, and antibiotics, can interfere with digestion or each other when timed poorly. Always check with your doctor and pharmacist. Many elderly people take 5+ prescriptions daily. Improper timing is a silent digestive killer. Final reflection: the tiny doors to major health. Each of these habits may seem small on the surface, trivial even, but health isn't built by grand gestures. It's crafted in the micro moments: how you sit, sip, chew, rest, or move after each meal. Over weeks and months, these tiny doors either open toward healing or quietly lead us away from it. So pause. Look inward. Ask yourself, which one of these habits is part of my routine? Which one am I willing to shift, starting today? Because the moment you change your direction, even just 1 degree, your entire destination changes. You've just uncovered how simple actions, like lying down after meals, drinking too much water too quickly, or finishing with fruit, can quietly chip away at your digestive health. They don't scream. They don't sting right away. But over time, they leave traces: a little more gas here, a restless night there, a sluggish afternoon, or a rising stack of antacid tablets on your nightstand. So now let's bring it all together. Brain, the gentle power of awareness. One of the most powerful lessons I've learned over my years in practice is this: awareness creates opportunity. When you're aware of the habits in your daily life, especially after meals, you suddenly unlock the ability to transform how your body responds. You stop guessing. You start noticing. And once you begin noticing, healing becomes possible. You've already done the most important part. You've paused long enough to learn. That alone puts you ahead of most. But now the question becomes, what will you do with this awareness? White heavy checkmark recap. The 3 small habits. Let's briefly revisit the core ideas, not just to remember them, but to feel their importance. 1. Lying down after meals. Seems relaxing, right? But it disrupts digestion and encourages acid to creep up the esophagus. Especially dangerous for those prone to reflux, coughing at night, or slow stomach emptying. What to do instead? Sit upright, take a light walk, or engage in calm, mindful activities. 2. Drinking excessive water immediately. Water is vital, but timing is everything. Too much too fast dilutes digestive acids, weakens enzyme activity, and leads to bloating. What to do instead? Hydrate between meals. Sip during meals, not gulp. Wait 30 to 60 minutes after eating for larger drinks. 3. Ending meals with fruit. Healthy intention, poor timing. Fruits digest fast. When they're stuck behind heavier foods, they ferment. What to do instead? Eat fruits between meals, on an empty stomach. Choose lighter dessert options if needed post-meal. Speech balloon, but Dr. Bergman, I've been doing these things for years. I hear this often. Isn't it too late to change? My habits are too deep. I'm already in my 70s or 80s. What difference will it make? Let me be very clear, it's never too late. In fact, the older we get, the more immediate the benefits of healthy change become. You see, when you were young, your body had more buffers. It could bounce back from poor habits more easily. But now, every small improvement yields a noticeable difference, sometimes in just days or weeks. I've had patients in their 90s start walking after meals and suddenly experience better sleep. I've seen 80-year-olds shift their hydration habits and reclaim their appetites. I've watched a 75-year-old man give up after-meal fruit and report that his gas vanished within a week. Tiny changes, big ripple effects. Repeat button: the real shift, from automatic to intentional. Most habits are unconscious. You don't think, I'm going to hurt my digestion today. Of course not. You're just following what's familiar, what's comforting, what you've always done. But what if your comfort started working with your health instead of against it? What if your post-meal rest looked like a walk in the garden instead of a nap? What if your hydration ritual felt like a mindful tea at 3 p.m. instead of a hurried gulp after lunch? What if your sweet tooth found satisfaction in slow, nourishing ways that respected your body's rhythm? You don't need to give things up, you just need to give them new timing. Seedling real change begins in small moments. If you're feeling overwhelmed, don't worry. You don't need to overhaul your entire lifestyle in one day. Instead, I suggest this. White heavy checkmark pick just one of the 3 habits we discussed today. White heavy checkmark commit to changing that one for the next 7 days. White heavy checkmark observe, reflect, notice what shifts. Then once that feels natural, move on to the next. Momentum builds through kindness, not pressure. You are not a project to fix, you are a story unfolding. And every chapter can be better than the one before. Megaphone your turn, let's make this a conversation. This is where I hand the mic to you. In the comments below, I'd love to know, which one of these habits surprised you the most? Is there a post-meal ritual you've developed that helps you feel better? Do you have questions about digestion, aging, or related health routines? I read every comment. Your stories help shape the topics we explore next, and they remind others that they're not alone. Sparkling heart final words from Dr. Bergman. My dear friend, you've spent your life giving to others, your family, your work, your community. Now it's time to give something back to yourself. Not in grand gestures, not in big speeches, but in the way you sit after lunch, in the way you drink your water with care, in the way you honor your body's needs, even in the quiet hours. Health isn't a destination. It's a series of choices, small, steady, and sacred. So today, choose to listen to your body. Choose to treat it like the beloved home it is. And choose, above all, to believe that the best can still be ahead. Until next time, I'm Dr. Eric Bergman. Be kind to yourself. Stay curious. And as always, stay upright after lunch winking face.